Hello everyone and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N network and channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 157 on the N.A.R.C.N network, and the title of episode 157 is When You Don't Get Hoovered and What It Means. So in this particular episode we're going to just talk about when you don't get hoovered by the narcissist. Now, for those of you out there who may be new to this channel and not come across my videos before and have no idea what hoovered means, hoovered is when a narcissist comes back and elects to start paying attention to you again after a period of no contact, or after a period of very little contact, after something has gone down with that narcissist that you've been dealing with. Basically, it's an attention-gaining action by the narcissist to try to regain fuel from you and reconnect with you, and to get some of the prime aims that the narcissist are actually after, which, of course, as we've talked about before on the channel, is fuel, whatever benefits they can get off you, attention they can get off you. Basically anything that you can give them. That's basically why they hoover you. Now, why we call it a hoover is simply because they're coming back in to suck you back in, basically. So, what happens here, or what is happening here, when you're not getting hoovered? Well, the narcissist is not hoovering you for one of a few different reasons. One reason is, perhaps, you don't provide them with the appropriate amount of fuel or attention that they like, or you don't have perhaps the benefits that they want to get off of you. You're not providing them with either of those things. Perhaps they're just not as into you as they are into another narcissistic appliance that they have. Something is going on where you're just not a good candidate. Or it can also be that you yourself are actually a very good candidate for them. You do have things to offer them, but you are just way too smart or way too intelligent for them to deal with. Narcissists like to deal with people who they can pull the wool over their eyes easily with. That is not to say that you are stupid or an unintelligent person. That is to say that perhaps sometimes even the most intelligent people can get into a narcissistic situation, because often people who the narcissist picks on are very empathic, kind type people who want to help other individuals, and narcissists single out these people as being people who will help them and give attention and the things that they want to that narcissist without much of a fight, or give it to them voluntarily, because that's the type of person you are. You are a giving person and you make efforts towards people, and a narcissist will single you out as being a really great candidate for those reasons. It has nothing to do with your level of intelligence. It has to simply just do that with the fact that you are a very kind person and you're willing to give them their thing, give them those things. But also something else that happens here too is, often when you're not getting hoovered by the narcissist, it is because you are intelligent, or you become aware that you may be dealing with a narcissist, or may have been dealing with a narcissist, or that that narcissist is now aware that you know or possibly suspect what they are, and they don't want to come back and hoover you for that reason, because you now pose a danger to them in being found out as to what they are, and possibly outing them to everyone else, and telling the people that you know and the people around who that narcissist is as well. So they may not hoover you, excuse me, they may not hoover you simply because they feel that you're a danger or a threat to them, and they are not coming back and attempting to reconnect with you in those ways because you are just too dangerous to deal with, or possibly a threat to them in some other way that they deem based on their narcissistic protocol that they use in picking out victims. Now, if you're not getting hoovered here for some reason, because I've had one or two people on the N.A.R.C.N network actually approach me and say, you know, I've got a narcissist, they've disappeared for a while, they're not coming back. They're not trying to communicate with me. They're not reaching out to me. They're not trying to form that communication with me again. Why is this not happening? Well, it could be happening for one of the reasons that I just listed here. But one thing I can tell you is if the narcissist is not coming back and trying to hoover you in this way, this is a good thing. You shouldn't question why they're not doing this. They're not doing this for one of the aforementioned reasons I just said. And if they're not coming back and trying to deal with you in this way, that's a good thing. It means they're staying away from you, and you don't have to do anything to force them to stay away from you. You should be happy about this. Especially if you want to stay away from the narcissist and get that narcissist out of your life with any degree of permanence. As long as they're not hoovering with you, you don't have to deal with them. And if they're not showing any inclination that they may hoover you in the future, this is a good thing. Try to keep at a distance if you don't want to deal with that narcissist anymore. Stay away from them. Them not hoovering you is a sign that you either do not have something that they want or that they require. And you shouldn't really feel sad about this, because this is probably a good thing. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you don't have things to offer. It simply means that that narcissist is perhaps taking that attention from a source that provides it much better to them voluntarily than you do. That's not a bad thing. Again, it doesn't have anything to say about the person that you are or what's going on with you, or that you don't have things to offer in your life. It has more to say about the narcissist than it does about you. But by the same comparison, it can also mean that this narcissist now thinks that you are too high of a level of danger for them to deal with, or that they just don't want to deal with you in any particular way because of varying other reasons. But the most prevalent reason here is usually that they see you as a threat of some nature to them, or a danger to their well-being or safety, and this is why they're basically electing to stay away from you. Either way, if they're staying away from you, this is a good thing. Go with this. If you don't want to deal with a narcissist and deal with all of the narcissist issues, this is a thing you can use to stay away from them. Don't attract them into talking to you if you don't want to communicate with them. Keep going with this particular plan that they're employing with you. Hopefully they'll stay away from you. You won't have to deal with them in the future. Hopefully they won't come back for a hoover, seeing that perhaps there's a weak spot that they can get in with you again, or whatever. Try not to worry about why they're not hoovering you. That doesn't mean in the future that they may not come back and try to hoover you at some time in the future. They could be just in a waiting period, ready to strike. This is what happens with narcissists. Sometimes they'll go a few months, 6 months, a year. Sometimes it's years or longer. I've even heard of narcissists coming back after a decade and suddenly hoovering somebody. I had this situation just with somebody on the N.A.R.C.N network just the other day, where they hadn't spoken to this person that they were dealing with for 12 years. And all of a sudden this person was writing them up and asking them to go for coffee and go meet. And they were actually kind of love bombing this person a little bit after 12 years. So it can happen at any time. But as long as the narcissist is staying away from you, consider this a good thing. Go with that thing that they're doing. Try to keep yourself out of their sights and out of their line of fire. And just try to stay away from the narcissist if this is what you want to do with the narcissist in your life if you're trying to escape from them. So this has been episode 157. These are just some points I wanted to make about when you get when you get hoovered by a narcissist, or when you don't get hoovered by a narcissist. I just wanted to make a couple of these points to you guys as to why this was particularly happening, and give you an idea, if you didn't already know yourself, why this may be occurring. So this has been episode 157. I'm going to say to you guys, I hope you guys have an awesome, great day and or evening, depending on what time of day you're watching this. And please stay tuned for some other content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network and on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. And I'll catch you guys really soon in some new videos.